Oh. I got it. Wait. Okay. I lost it. Sorry, Matt, I lost it. Okay, I figured it out. Like I said, we're switching networks. Oh no, wrong one. Oh, don't have the script up. Oh. Okay. Hi, you guys are watching the Mac and Cheese podcast, which you would be hopefully getting a podcast once a month or multiple episodes a week. This week it's multiple, just because draft is around the corner. With one of my friends or celebrities. If you want to be a guest, please email us at macpodcast2023@gmail.com or DM us on Twitter at macpodcast2023. Today's guest is a member of one of my new followers. It's Draft Utopia. Their Twitter will be in the bio, so if you want to follow them there, please do. We are now partnered with Podcast Boys Network, like it says in the corner, with the little planet, globe, whatever it is. Or you can, their Twitter will be in the bio as well, where you can find anything NFL and I believe 9 other shows at this point. Okay. So as you told me, you are a Patriots fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you. Why do you like Tyler Nubin for the Packers? Like, I know you told me Tyler Nubin for the Packers. Why do you like him?
I just feel like the Packers need to get the top free safety in the draft to pair with Xavier McKinney. It's not, right. And that's the best one on the board, in my opinion. I mean, they could go a different route. They could go Kitchens, but I feel like Kitchens isn't as physical. He's not as good of a blocker. They could go with Cole Bishop, but I also feel like that's a little too early for Cole Bishop. You could even go for Javon Bullard of Georgia, but I feel like he's more of a better fit for a team like a Detroit or a San Francisco than a Green Bay. So that's partially why I went with Nubin.
I'd never thought about that because I know like Nubin, he has a low RAS score and usually Packers don't go for low RAS score players. Do you think his RAS score fits him well?
I think his score, I'm not putting as much stock into that probably as I should, but I feel like he's the best fit for what Green Bay wants right now in terms of the zone coverage free safety. They could go a different route too, but I just feel like he's the best fit for what they want to do at 41.
Okay, so you're thinking 41.
Yeah, I actually went Cooper DeJean at 24 or 25.
25, yeah. So who do you think your Patriots will get round 1? I know people have him to the Jaden Daniels. Are you a fan of him this year?
I have Jaden Daniels at 3 at the moment. Drake May is my number 2 QB, but the whole Washington saga is just nuts. We don't know what they're going to do. I've heard McCarthy's out of the picture, and they pretty much narrowed it down to Daniels and May, but they're keeping it in-house probably until the draft.
Right.
So I and another person, that's from my Washington insider at Draft Utopia. My other person, who's the vice president of my company, basically told me that Jaden Daniels, he interviewed poorly with the Commanders. So either that's a smoke screen, that's BS, or maybe they've decided on Drake May and they're just keeping it in house. But I've got Drake May at 2 for that reason because I've heard multiple reports. So I think the Patriots end up with Jaden at 3. But regardless, it looks like Jaden or May is going to end up in New England at 3 if they don't trade out of the pick.
Yeah. Do you think Caleb Williams is going 1 to the Bears?
I'm pretty certain he's going number 1 to the Bears. Just looking at the exchanges Ryan Poles had, you see when Ryan Poles hugged Caleb Williams, Caleb was the first to pull away from that exchange, and it was a constant handshake. It was not a temporary handshake when Ryan Poles shook the hand of Caleb's mom. It was not a temporary or a lingering handshake. It was a constant. It was at least 5 seconds. That's a pretty big tell that the Bears are taking Caleb Williams. And I don't think it's a secret to anyone else at this point.
Right. You mentioned Cooper DeJean. Do you think he's a great fit for the Packers round 1 at 25? I know some Packer fans don't like him because he reminds me of them of No, not Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jackson. That's who.
Josh Jackson, the former quarterback from Iowa. I know that's why a lot of people do not like him. Cooper DeJean.
I didn't like him at first initially either, to be completely honest. But then I went back and watched the tape against Ohio State when all their receivers were healthy in 2022, and I rewatched the Iowa State game that I watched, and I was not impressed initially, but because that was the first time I watched DeJean Iowa State 2023. Then I rewatched the game, and I actually came away pretty impressed. So I feel like DeJean could work, and I feel like they're just going to start him out at nickel corner. Basically, it's leverage. Eric Stokes in the final year of his rookie deal. If they don't want to give him a fifth-year tender, they can leverage Eric Stokes by bringing in DeJean to compete with him.
Right.
Stokes might play as good as he did as his rookie year before he gets injured, and DeJean might struggle. We don't know how this is going to play out.
Right. So from what I've researched, you can tell me if I'm wrong. From what I've researched, he plays outside cornerback, right?
Yes, he plays outside. But yeah, I feel like he would be a nickel in Green Bay that rookie year. The Packers moved on from Eric Stokes, he would then be the number 2 corner if that were to happen.
Yeah, but we have Valentine from last year's draft still.
That's true. I love Valentine coming out of Kentucky. He was a very promising player. But at the same time, I feel like Green Bay, they are going to go with another corner early. It's a gut feeling. I feel like DeJean's the player they're going to go with if he's there at 25, and he might go earlier. I mean, he could go as early as 15 to the Colts, so he might not even be there at 25.
Right. Do you like Kool-Aid McKinstry? That's another one that Packer fans love, is Kool-Aid McKinstry at 25.
Actually, I'm not as high on McKinstry as the public is. When I was watching, I did a Texas-Alabama film cut, and during that game, Kool-Aid just kept getting – he did have some nice plays in the game, don't get me wrong, but he also got exposed in a lot of plays. I feel like he's more of a poor man's Patrick Surtain, and Terry Arnold against LSU was better than Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's probably why Arnold's now the consensus number 1 corner in most drafts at this point of the year. Yeah. So I feel like McKinstry could be an option, but I could also see the Eagles taking him at 22. So it's going to be interesting. I think offensive line could be an avenue to explore. A lot of it really does depend on who falls through the boards.
Right. Packers usually don't go offensive linemen round 1, though, is the thing.
That's true.
Since 2002 or something. So it's been quite a bit.
And they don't go receiver round 1 either from their history.
Right. I mean, quarterback, I don't think quarterback is round 1, unfortunately.
They might get a backup quarterback in round 4. I have Joe Milton Packers in round 4, but I don't think they'll go with because I do think they can upgrade over Sean Clifford, but Jordan loves the guy. Jordan loves the guy. Okay, he is. I mean, I got when I was at my first Senior Bowl, I went to the Reese's Senior Bowl in 2020. I got to interview Jordan Love. I kind of had a feeling at that moment he was going to be the guy. So that's why I just stayed pat and just waited for this situation to play out while most people were like, Aaron Rodgers is gone. The Packers are going to suck now. That's probably what most people said when Jordan Love first got there last year. But I just kept my cool and just thinking this thing's going to work out. Packers have drafted well. People just have to wait for this thing to play out.
Right. So do you not think do you not think Sean Clifford is the next quarterback then? I know
he might be, but I also feel like he's replaceable as the backup.
Okay.
He's on a rookie deal for 3 more years, so
How about Alex Magoo? From the USFL from last year?
Maybe he beats out Clifford. I hadn't heard he was on the Packers. That's interesting. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's our 3rd string quarterback from the defending champions from the USFL. Yeah, but that was just interesting. What are your thoughts about Max Mellon to the Packers? That's a curious one for me,
I
personally.
do like Max Melton. I
Okay.
have him going in the early part of the third round, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an interesting pick. I do like that fit. I might have him in round 2. I don't exactly. No, I have him in round 3. I
Right.
remember. Okay.
Do you
But
see
yeah,
the
that'd be a
Packers
good fit.
getting him?
That would be a
Do you
great
see the
fit. If you
Do you see
get
the Packers
Cooper
getting him?
DeJean at 25, I think that's a great fit in terms of
Yeah. I just don't see Max Mellon going round 1 to the Packers. I don't see it.
yeah, he's not going to go round 1. I think I have him locked in round 3 somewhere.
Okay.
I don't remember what team exactly at the top of my
Right.
head. I know my brain's kind of foggy right now. That's because I've been working on the 7-round mock draft. I got up to the Steelers Rams pick, so I'm on the playoff teams in round
Oh
7.
wow.
I'm not exactly done, but I'm brainstorming the picks.
Yeah.
I haven't started the write-ups or any of that yet, but I've
That's
got the first 6 rounds of write-ups done, and I'm basically brainstorming what I want to do in round 7 with the
yeah.
playoff teams. That's basically where I'm at. And then
Okay.
there's top picks. So I'm
So
almost done. I'm not completely done,
right.
unfortunately.
So are you going to finish it before draft next weekend?
Yes, I am. I'm going to try to finish it tomorrow because I on my podcast on Saturday, we're going to talk about the NBA, NHL playoffs, and then I'm going to go through every pick in the 7-round mock draft. That's pretty much what I'm going to do on
Oh,
my live stream. So
perfect.
I'm going to try to finish it.
Perfect. I like Anthony Gold from Oregon State. What are your opinions about him? He's a wide receiver for the
I
draft.
haven't studied him, but he's on my short list of 7th-round guys that I'm looking
Okay.
at for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't mocked him anywhere yet, but
Okay.
that's probably a guy I'm going to look at as soon as this live stream's over, because that's
Yeah.
someone I'm trying to figure out where do I want to put Anthony Gold if I do put him in
Okay.
somewhere in the draft, because that's a player I actually haven't studied. I've studied
Oh
most
wow.
of the class, so
Okay. Because like he's supposed to go to the 6th or 7th round, like 6th to undrafted free agency, which Packers usually love to pick wide receivers in those rounds, is what I'm thinking.
that's kind of why I went with Cornelius Johnson. I filled most of the needs:
Okay.
corner, inside linebacker, free
Mm-hmm.
safety. I ended up going with a right tackle, Christian Jones, the Texas right tackle. There were no left tackles on the board in round 3.
Okay.
So I went with Jones as a swing tackle, and he can like develop under the current starters for 2 years. And then Green Bay can either re-sign Walker or Zach Tom and let the other walk, and then he'd be the bookend.
Right. So does that change after the Packers literally just signed a right tackle from the Titans, the former Titans 2019 pick?
What player are you referring to? Andre Dillard? They did
Yeah,
sign.
we just signed
Andre
him.
Dillard is awful. I
Wait.
think he'll be the backup left tackle, but he is awful. Like, he got torn apart against Myles Garrett and the Browns last year. Dillard
Oh
is
no.
awful.
Why did the
Yeah,
Packers
my
sign that?
co-host Joey's a huge Browns fan. He went into a huge rant about how Myles Garrett just absolutely destroyed Andre Dillard. That is,
Wait. So why did the Packers sign him? Is what I'm confused.
did the Packers actually sign Andre Dillard? Because I did
Today.
not hear that.
It was literally it was literally like 10 minutes ago.
Holy crap. Yeah. He'll probably be the backup left tackle to Rasheed Walker if I had to take an educated guess.
Can he play safety or center? Not safety. Center, maybe?
No. He's been a left tackle his entire career. High school, college. He'll probably back up Rasheed Walker.
Okay. Because I saw right guard, maybe, or right tackle. So that's why I wasn't sure.
Maybe Our Lads are one of those sites listed as a backup right tackle in the depth chart. Because they're not sure where he's going to end up playing, but I'm pretty certain he'll be a backup in Green Bay.
Okay. Yeah, it says an hour ago the Packers are signing offensive tackle Andre Dillard. Welcome.
And it's a 1-year contract, I'm guessing.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I'm guessing. I don't know. Do you know?
I have not seen contract numbers yet, no.
Okay.
Really? That would be interesting to know, though.
Okay.
Sorry, we have like 6 people watching. Matt Lee from Miami. That's another one of my favorites. What are your thoughts? He's a center from Miami, a 7th rounder or 7th to undrafted free agent.
Matt Lee's interesting because I looked at Javian Cohen at Miami guard in the 4th round. Lee is a player, one of my coworkers. It's a Packers fan, Matt Lee. They love Lee as well. I heard Lee is very popular among Packers fans. So not just your show, but a lot of other Packers streams, they want Lee too. So I could see that in the 6th or 7th round. So I'm looking at Gold or Lee probably for my Packers 7th round pick.
Okay.
I think they have 2 7th round picks. Yeah, they have the 25th pick in round 7, whenever that is. And they also have a comp pick right before 255, right before the Jets at 256 and 257. So yeah.
I'm getting yelled at by our new host.
Who's the new host?
It's Podcast Boys Network. I used to be with Ohana Network Edition. Ohana Packer Edition Network. It's Med, the Bears fan. Sadly. He's yelling at me because I didn't switch the banner yet. I know how to switch it, Med. I know you're watching. Jackson Powers Johnson, what are your thoughts about him?
I have him going in the 1st round of the Steelers at 20. A reason I know he's projected to go a little bit lower than that, but I ended up mocking Graham Barton, the Duke guard, to Seattle at 16, and that threw a curveball in my mock draft. Because a lot of people have Barton going first. Some people have him going to the Packers at 25. I've heard Graham Barton to the Packers at 25. So there's a lot of there's a lot of traction for Graham Barton after his impressive pro day where he ran a 4.84 at Duke. Barton can play all 5 positions in the offensive line. He's only 21. I ended up putting him on the Seahawks because they need multiple guard upgrades, and I figured they might go for value over need, but they could also potentially reach for Barton as early as 16, and then it would put Pittsburgh in a tough spot where if they wanted a center in the 1st round, they would probably have to take Jackson Powers Johnson even a little earlier than anticipated.
Because I know Packers, we don't like our right guard at this moment. It's Sean Ryan.
I liked his play at left tackle at UCLA, but I feel like he's expendable.
Yeah, because right now he's our right guard on the Packers.
Yeah.
So it's we have Zach Tom, obviously. What are your thoughts about Zach Tom moving? He's at right tackle right now, but the Packers are moving him or thinking about moving him to center. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, if they can't get a good center in the draft, that is one route. Because from what I've heard about Josh Myers, it sounds like the Packers are done with him. Done in all caps with Josh Myers.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know if they're going to get rid of Myers, but it also feels like, because everybody was complaining about Myers in the preseason, regular season, postseason, it feels like the Packers are either going to not renew his rookie deal at the end of next year, or they're going to move somebody else to center like Zach Tom. The other option would be they draft somebody and at center.
Yes.
But that's kind of what it sounds like is going to happen. But they're going to get the replacement now and develop him for a year so he's ready to step in when Myers' rookie deal is over. Because I don't see the Packers renewing Myers after his rookie
Interesting. Deal. Okay. Because I know Matt LaFleur loved him. He talked great things about him. That's interesting. Okay.
Maybe they will re-sign him if he agrees to a team-friendly deal. But I also don't see the Packers overpaying him if he wants.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard things he's the next Corey Linsley too, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Cedric Gray, the linebacker, do you think he's a great fit for the Packers for the middle linebacker position?
He's one of the fits in play. I ended up going Peyton Wilson, and I initially had Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in that spot, but I ended up switching it to Wilson because I feel like the Packers are going to see more of a Ray Nitschke classic prototype inside linebacker with Wilson, and that's what they're kind of looking for. So I ended up pivoting to Wilson, but they could go Cedric Gray. They could go Jalen Ford, Texas. They could go for one of those guys in the 3rd round if they don't want to take a linebacker in the 2nd round. Because remember, the Packers have 2 seconds and 2 thirds, so they could go for it. They could go for any of those linebackers depending on what their organization prefers the most.
Do you know any middle linebackers in this year's draft? That's what we're lacking of because we lost Dre to the 49ers.
Because Cedric Gray, he had 10 tackles against South Carolina in the opener, even though I only did Drake May, Spencer Rattler, and Xavier Legette film cuts because my computer was low on space. I had to delete the South Carolina, North Carolina game film. Cedric Gray was one of the players that stood out for North Carolina in that contest. So I do think the top 100 hype behind Cedric Gray is legitimate. He can stop the run.
I've seen a lot of Packer fans like mocking Cedric Gray to us. So
I can see it.
I think it would just be fun, like to see like his career turn out. And same with like Bo Melton because we have Max Melton because we have Bo Melton, the wide receiver, the brotherly love. This is an unpopular one. What do you think of Jefferson's brother, the defensive tackle from LSU this year?
Are you telling me Jordan Jefferson and Justin Jefferson are brothers?
They are.
I actually mocked Jordan Jefferson to the Vikings as a backup nose tackle. I had no idea they were brothers.
Funny. Yeah, they're brothers. Yep.
That actually is pretty funny now that I think about it, because I had no idea they were brothers.
Yep, they're brothers.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this one. A lot of people are going to be mad at me. What do you think about Braylon Allen to the Packers? I know a lot of people are iffy about running back.
I ended up mocking Corum to the Packers with one of the 2 third-round picks, but it was at 92, not 88, because I figured the Packers are more likely to go for a need. Or maybe I didn't. I thought I mocked a running back to the Packers. I don't know for certain, but I feel like a running back could be in play. Maybe they go for an Audric Estime on day 3. Maybe they look at Isaiah Davis, the South Dakota State running back. I know the Packers do like small school players, so I think those guys could be in play as well. But I'm thinking running back because basically Josh Jacobs is your bell cow, and basically you want another college running back that – because A.J. Dillon was known for his ball carrier vision, his pass blocking, as well as his running and pass catching at Boston College. So if you could find another running back with similar traits in the 3rd or 4th round, you could just reload and not pay A.J. Dillon after this year. That's what I think the Packers are ultimately going to do with their running back position.
So you don't like Emmanuel Wilson?
I'm not too high on Wilson, no.
You're the first person. Like, I know a lot of people want Allen, like Braylon Allen from Wisconsin. I think it's just like a Wisconsin connection, though, for that one.
I just don't see the Packers being able to take Braylon Allen unless they pick him in the 2nd round. I don't think the Packers are going to spend a 2nd-round pick on a running back. I think they're going to look at free safety and inside linebacker with those 2 picks and go for best player in the 1st round, and then they'll if they don't, then they'll probably go free safety and middle linebacker in round 2 if I had to take an educated guess, and then maybe they'll look at a running back with one of their 3rd-round picks if the value's there.
See, the thing about 3rd rounds is Packers don't always like hit 3rd-round players. Like the only one that I can think of at this point is Tucker Kraft, like from last year. Like Sean Ryan, maybe, but we haven't seen enough from him. Like Tucker Kraft, like he broke the 3rd-round curse. Is the thing. Do you see Packers getting a tight end this year's draft?
Packers getting a tight end? No, I don't. I was high. I had Luke Musgrave as my number 2 tight end behind Michael Mayer. And I think I may have had Tucker Kraft ahead of Sam Laporta. I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
I think I had either Durham Payne or Tucker Kraft ahead of him because Laporta was my 7th or 8th best tight end in the draft, and it looks like I'm massively on him.
Right. That's crazy.
He checked off every box, but he didn't wow me in college, and now he comes into a much better situation in Detroit and pulls a 180. So that's kind of how I felt about Kelsey coming out of Cincinnati and Gronkowski coming out of Arizona. And they were badasses. So the rest is history. I really don't need to say anything else about those guys.
Right. You just never know.
Yeah,
kicker. What do you think about kicker for the Packers? I know we have Greg Joseph from the Vikings. We have Anders from last year's draft. Do you think we get another one?
There's two kickers that can make a 60-yard field goal in this draft. Joshua Carty from Stanford and Harrison Mevis from Missouri. If you're able to get one of those kickers, because I have 4th round grades on both kickers, you could draft one of those kickers in round 5, but the reality is the Packers probably aren't going to take a kicker unless it's in round 7, because if they do, they can cut that kicker if he doesn't make the team, and no worries. Slap on the wrist. That's assuming if they can't find a trade partner. Or they don't trade any of the picks.
Because we have Anders Carlson, the guy from Georgia.
I thought he was Auburn. Daniel Carlson's little brother. He's from Auburn, I believe. And you also have Greg Joseph.
A lot of fans don't like him. A lot of fans don't like him.
I don't blame the fans. I didn't even have him in my top 5 kickers in last year's draft. So I was surprised he even got picked. And then when I found out he was Daniel Carlson's brother, I'm thinking, all right, I'll give this the benefit of the doubt because Daniel Carlson's been pretty good.
Right.
But I can see why Packers fans.
Do you think I'm to bring in a better veteran kicker? I know a lot of people want Mason Crosby back. Is that an option? Do you think? Like bringing, not saying Crosby.
I don't think it's an option because Mason Crosby was awful in his only start with the Giants last year. He looked even worse on the Giants than he did with the Packers.
Right.
So I don't think that's a realistic option at this point.
Okay. I feel like we should move on to the mock draft. But do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Just because I told Med to come on at 5:55 Eastern.
Yeah. So I'll be here till 5:55, and then the next guest takes my place?
No. He's just promoting his shows really quick.
Okay, no problem.
You can promote all your shows too if you want. Because we kind of have a lot going on with the draft next week too.
Yeah.
And it's I know you're streaming that. Everyone's streaming that, I swear. You got this. Work. Do you want to do Packers and Patriots mock draft? Maybe?
Yeah. If you want to do that, that's fine.
I just didn't know if you had a team. Did it share? No. No. Oh. Wait. I'm confused. Of course it doesn't like me right now. Oh. Maybe? Got it. Let's go. Okay. See it? It's behind, I think. Okay. And then you said Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to find them now. Wow.
I see them. They're right by the Vikings. They're right below the Vikings.
Oh my God. I was looking for Patriots. That's what confused me.
No, yeah, you're right. It's confusing because they put the teams in columns. They didn't put the teams in alphabetical order. They put the teams in 4 columns of 8.
Or I think divisions would be easier too.
Probably would be easier to just organize it by divisions, but they went by alphabetical order and went in columns instead of just having the first 4 in alphabetical order in the top row horizontally, which is.
It doesn't make sense. You guys should fix it if you guys are watching. Okay.
All right. I know the guy who runs this site. I send him my mock drafts every year.
God!
I don't know if I should tell him that it's kind of confusing. I feel like that'd be rude to say to him, but
yeah.
You
never know. They might listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Bears took Jake May. Ooh. Okay. Of course it's Bears. Do you want this trade?
No. I'm going to take Caleb Williams. I don't know why the simulator's being unrealistic, but
I don't know either.
Caleb's my top QB. Just go ahead and lock that in.
Ooh, A+. Great pick. Whoa. I hate how it's going so fast. I did choose fast, to be fair. Why does it hate me? Wait. What is it doing? It's I usually don't do trades myself.
Yeah, I just reject all the trades because I did this during the bye weeks. I did this using the simulator.
Mhm.
Some of the trades that were being pitched were so ridiculous. They were just too good to be true. So I just declined all
This
the
is
trades.
yeah, this is very crazy.
I
Cooper
love the
DeJean
visuals.
Cooper DeJean like dropped. How? This might be my chance to get him, do you think? There's
Yeah,
Powers Johnson.
I could get you can get him. There's other players you can look at too, though. I think
Yeah.
the most complete defensive players, Jerzon Newton, but the Packers have a lot of depth at defensive end, so I don't think that's a need
But
for the Packers.
the thing
Whereas,
is, with the Packers going into 4-3 though, is the
wait,
issue.
they're switching their scheme from
Yep.
a 43. I did not know that.
Because we were 3-4 to a 43 now.
I figured they were keeping the exact same
No.
34 defense.
Nope.
Okay, that's news to me.
Because Halfley ran a 4-3 in Boston College. So
Okay.
we're switching. So saying that now, defensive edge might help be best. I don't know. But again, Cooper DeJean is right there. And Halfley's specialties is cornerbacks, like secondary.
Yeah, and Carl Brooks and the other guy the Packers drafted out of Auburn.
Mhm.
So the Packers are going to have depth at defensive tackle if that's the case. And
Do you
they've
like
got
Carl Brooks?
Yeah, I was higher on Carl Brooks than the guy they drafted out of Auburn, but I wasn't like super high on him. I knew he had double-digit sacks. His tape against Mississippi State wasn't very good, though. I mean,
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like DeJean's probably your best bet here, but if you can,
Right.
if you want to trade down, that's another option you could go as well. But
See, I just don't like doing trades.
I don't like doing trades either.
Hey, A+, I'll take it. Is it you guys? Yeah, it's you guys next. Okay. You said no trades, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid trades at any cost as well.
Okay. How was Jackson Powers Johnson slipped to the second round? Oh, wow. Okay. Knowing you have Caleb Williams. Who do you want next?
I'm going to get a left tackle for my quarterback, and I'm going to take a Marius Mims right here and lock that in.
Oh.
Get my blind side for my QB.
He plays left tackle?
He played right tackle at Georgia, but I found some old high school film of Marius Mims, and he was lining up at tackle on both sides of the ball when watching that film. So I can play both sides.
Okay. How did Jackson Powers Johnson fall to 41?
Yeah, as much as I like the idea of drafting a free safety, you got to grab Powers Johnson here. The value is just too good. You can't
How's that possible?
That value.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. I don't think the simulator's being realistic. Ever since it passed on Caleb Williams at 1, the simulator's just been.
Yeah.
It wants to relive the Mitchell Trubisky glory days, I guess. I mean, remember the Bears took Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. It's funny because Trubisky was my 4th best QB that year. I had Mahomes, Watson, and Deshaun Kaiser in my top 3 for most of the draft process.
Yeah. So as of right now, we got Cooper DeJean, Jackson Powers Johnson. It's saying Kingsley from BYU or Newbin, like you said. What do you think about Edgerrin Cooper? I know a lot of fans love him, but he's probably
my top graded inside linebacker in the draft.
Okay. Would he be good for the Packers? Oh, he's gone.
He'd be a great fit. I think I mocked him to the Titans in the early 2nd round. So if you want to go that route, you could.
He's gone.
I would probably take Newbin here and get my linebacker in the 3rd round. I don't know.
Okay. That might be a good idea. Yeah, because Tyler Newbin is 46 here. That might be a good idea. Like to get our safety. Hey, A+. I'll take it. New England. No trades, X. You have Caleb Williams and Amarius Mims.
Okay, can you click on all and see what the best value picks are?
They're saying Braswell. Chris Braswell.
Yeah. All right, because I want to see what's available. These aren't bad value picks here, but
Okay.
I'm just.
Do you have like a position, maybe?
I don't think the Patriots are going to go edge rusher early. I think they'll add somebody, but it'll be late because when you look at the Patriots, they gave Josh Uche and Anthony Jennings extensions, two 3-team-friendly extensions, and Judon's their ace pass rusher. So I think the Patriots are more inclined to take an edge rusher later in the draft than early in the draft. I went Braden McGregor in round 6, but I'm thinking with the Mac Jones pick. But can we see what receivers are on the board? Can I get a number 1 receiver for my quarterback?
Dantes Walker from North Carolina. He's an 80.
Oh,
you might not want that.
Or if Corley's not available, I'm going to take Javon Baker here because I have a second on Baker. Baker's been making one-handed catches in multiple workouts.
Baker's here. Do you want Baker? Maybe.
Yeah, I'll just take Baker.
I don't see the other one that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hey, a solid B. That's not that bad.
Yeah. Devontae Walker only ran 5 routes, and he had 12 drops at the Senior Bowl, and that was in practice. Just in practice, he had 5 more in the game, so he had 17 drops during the entirety of the Senior Bowl week. That's a big reason why I dropped him all the way down to Dallas in round 5.
Oh,
so I'm not picking Devontae Walker.
Okay.
I'll take a hard pass on that.
So Packers have pick 88 and 91 in a couple of picks. So who would you choose right here?
Honestly, Cooper Bee's fantastic value at this point. I mean, he played left guard at Kansas State.
Okay.
But you could move him over to right guard. I mean, he's also got experience at left tackle. I mean, so Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe was my number 1 guard for most of the process prior to pro day. Most people had Bart at 1, but I had Beebe at 1, and he was actually gaining more traction in the preseason than Barton was.
So you're saying that would be a great pick?
Really good value pick at this point. I'm guessing you'll have a 4th A+ if you pick him here.
Let's do it. And we have like 91 too. Yeah. Oh, B+. Stupid.
Well, you're still doing better than me. I got a B.
True. Okay. So Blake Corum is right there.
Yeah, I like Corum here. That would be a good pick. Do you want to see what linebackers are available before you slot in Corum?
Yeah. Might be a Trotter.
I do like Trotter too. It's your call though. If you think you can get Ford later, I would go with Corum.
Do you like this Olofascio player?
I need to do a deeper dive on him, but I know my friend Riley, who's a Seahawks fan, loves him to the point where he took him in our private group mock.
So you're thinking Trotter or Corum?
I'm thinking Corum because you can probably get Jalen Ford or Eichenberg in the next round if he's over value over need. But if you want a day 1 starter, get Trotter. But it's a big decision either way.
Thing is, we do need linebackers more than running back.
Yeah.
Because we have that Dre. Can Jeremiah Trotter Jr. play where Devondre played? Devondre was like a middle linebacker.
The son of Jeremiah Trotter Sr., the former Eagles linebacker. So, yeah.
Oh, so fantastic is what you're saying. Got it. That's all you had to tell me. Oh, A. Fine. Boo. I'm curious if Corum went. Oh, you have 1 trade to the Panthers. Oh, bad.
But available.
Spencer Rattler.
No.
Walker. Bullock. Drain.
Drain isn't bad value here. I like Abrams Drain. I have him as I have a second on Abrams Drain. That's not bad value. I think I'll take Abrams Drain here because we don't take cornerback depth behind Gonzalez. Jonathan. Wow. Great.
I do know the Packers. What are your thoughts about Davis, the running back?
South Dakota State.
Yes.
I did a deep dive on him after the combine. So not only does he pass block like Pierre Strong Jr., his predecessor at South Dakota State, he's actually a really good run blocker. So if your quarterback scrambles and you want a run blocker, an extra blocker on your offense, pick him because he's the best running back in the draft.
He's gone.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious what your thoughts were if he was still there. They're saying Malik Washington, Gabriel Murphy, edge, Rosengarten, Taylor.
Rosengarten has experience at right guard, but you already took Cooper Beebe, so
Lloyd, Bryce, Rice.
estimate, despite the bad 40 time he ran, he's really good in pass protection. That was the only knock on Kyron Williams. Remember, Kyron Williams, he came out of Notre Dame 2 years ago. The only knock on him was the 40 time. He had the ball carrier vision. He had the pass protection. Estime's the same way.
So,
I mean,
in your opinion, which running back, like, in today's NFL is, like, Estime? Like, comparison-wise?
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of, trying to think of a good comp for him because it's hard to say exactly what he's like, but he kind of reminds me of Lamont Jordan would be his floor. I'm trying to think of a better comp. Believe me, I am. That's just the first thing that came into my head because I know that's not a good selling point. If I'm trying to come into a job interview with the Packers and I say this running back reminds me, that's not an impression you want to leave their front office with.
Okay.
Okay, so
He's also 20. Packers love younger players too right now.
He kind of reminds me of it's kind of a throwback comp, but he kind of reminds me of Jamal Williams on the Falcons back in the day.
Okay. Yep, he was a former Packer.
I did not know Jamal Williams. Oh, I'm talking about the. You're thinking of the BYU running back that played for the Packers.
Yep.
I'm thinking former Jamal Williams from the 1999 Atlanta Falcons. A little bit before, maybe a little bit before your time. I can't really say.
Oh, okay. So, Shots just told me he reminds them of someone else. The name just so Audric Estime would be a good pick here. You're saying.
Yeah. Yep.
A plus? A. Fine. I'll take it. Oh shoot, I wonder if Melton probably went. I don't see him dropping this far. Okay. Kayla Williams, Amarius Mims, Javon Baker, Chris Abrams, Drain. Who do you think?
This is tough. This is tough because on one end, I do have a fourth on Leonard Taylor. I do have a fourth on Leonard Taylor the third, but he's also kind of raw. I think I have a third round grade on him, but he's also kind of raw. I could get him for depth here, but I'm also looking at Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, because the value at this point is really good. I'm probably going to go with Taylor. I do like Brownlee too, but I'm going to go with Taylor here. I think it's better value because he can get
A plus. Good job. I wish Cedric Gray didn't go. I would love him right here, but he already went. That's like what I don't like about this mock is it's not like realistic, as we've seen.
It's not. I mean,
Jamal Anderson, not Jamal Williams. I got told. Got shots. Thank you, Matt. Okay, for the Packers, it's saying cornerback Pritchett. McCormick. What are your thoughts about McCormick?
If you need a left guard, that's a good pick.
We have left guard is Elgton Jenkins right now.
Elgton Jenkins is a good left guard. If you want to stash him for depth, that's not a bad pick.
Okay. What are your thoughts about Elijah Jones, the cornerback from Boston College?
He's actually pretty good in man coverage. Fast. Feel like his zone and press needs improvement, but if he's being coached by the Packers defensive coordinator, it might be a nice depth pick. I can definitely see the Packers making that pick if that's the direction you want to go. And that's a bad direction to go in. Okay.
I might do that because I saw his comparison is Carrington Valentine from the Packers.
I think the best value pick here is Jacob Cowing, but the thing is the Packers are so deep at receiver. They have 4 good receivers. They have
Wicks, Reed,
Watson, Christian Watson, and Dobbs, who I love coming out of Nevada. I actually had Dobbs graded higher than Watson coming out of college, but they have both Watson and Dobbs, and you have Jaden Reed in the slot and Dontavian Wicks. I
Yeah.
like Cowing's value here, but I feel like you're more inclined to go with a different area of need right now.
I feel like Elijah Jones might be a great pick because the fun fact about this is the Boston College head coach is Jeff Hafley, which is the Packers defensive coordinator right now.
Yeah.
And Jeff Hafley has actually spoken highly of Elijah Jones, which is why I'm leaning more that way, maybe.
If that's your pick, fine. Good.
B
pick.
plus. I'll take it. Patriots. Oh, 6. Okay. McCormick is still there. Wow. Jones.
This is interesting because I wasn't very high on Cole Strange coming out of college, but at the same time, there's just so much value at receiver.
Okay. What do you think of Matt Goncalves?
Matt Goncalves out of Pittsburgh. I had a 4th round grade on him. I actually interviewed Carter Warren, the left tackle at Pitt, last year at the Shrine Bowl in Las Vegas. So he had very good things about Matt Goncalves. Okay. But I'm probably going to go with...
this is round 6.
I know. I've only got... I'm going to go with Mason McCormick. I don't know what we have as the backup to Cole Strange at left guard, so I'm going to pick him here.
You got an A+. My computer's like ahead for some other
stuff. I mean, Cole Strange isn't bad, but I had like a 3rd on him, so...
What do you think of Luke McCaffrey? Christian McCaffrey's brother.
He's not bad. I have a 4th on him, and I have a 4th on Solomon. So, but I'm debating this because, like, I think Solomon's a little bit better in terms of production, and he's a better fit for our defense. But I also think Luke McCaffrey's a steal at this point. So it is sort of like a coin flip decision between McCaffrey and Solomon. I'm gonna take one of those two. Okay. Heads, I take McCaffrey. Tails, I take Solomon. Some lucky silver dollar. What do we got? Heads. So I guess it's McCaffrey. Coins said I have to pick Christian McCaffrey's little brother.
I mean, you could get McCaffrey to you guys. So imagine if you guys get him because of that trade. Okay.
Yeah. And that was with the Mac Jones pick. So I basically recycled Mac Jones and got Christian McCaffrey's little brother in the process. I'd say that's an upgrade.
We have 4 picks left for the Packers. Cooper DeJean. We need a defensive lineman badly.
What about Jalen Ford? You do need an inside linebacker, and he's a guy I have a 3rd round grade on. That's fantastic value at this point, honestly.
And we have Trotter too. So
yeah, and you got. I know you got Trotter, but Jalen. I had a 2nd on Trotter and
you're saying
a 3rd on Ford. So you're getting a 3rd
would be fantastic.
Round 6, and you can just stash him for depth.
Right.
I'm saying Trotter would be the starter and Quay Walker, but you'd have that if an injury occurred because Isaiah McDuffie's in the final year of his rookie deal. So if he doesn't get extended, you're going to need a 3rd linebacker
down the road. Yeah, and McDuffie actually played with.
Yeah, McDuffie did play with the Packers' new defensive coordinator, so he could get extended on a team-friendly deal. I don't know what's going to happen there.
Packer fans are up in the air on him.
Yeah. Okay. I had a backup grade on McDuffie coming out of Boston College, so I would take Ford here, but it's your call. If you think there's a better value pick on the board,
I really don't know this draft that well. Whereas, like, last year's I did pretty well at knowing. Oladapo went, wow.
I can't believe my tight end 4 is still on the board. Dallin Holker is incredible. His tape is incredible. But you already have 2 good tight ends. I don't think you're going to go that route. I'm guessing you're going to look at some of the other options here and see what's available here.
What do you think of Christian Mahogany? Is he good?
I have a 3rd on Mahogany. Is he still?
No, I don't think so. It was just nice. Where's the freaking mouse? I don't know where my computer mouse is. Whatever. Should be fine. I lost my computer mouse. It's fine. Okay. So Mahogany is offensive tackle, right?
He's a guard. Some have
So
listed center.
Iowa.
But he on the IOL, yeah.
Cohen.
I'm guessing he got picked.
Yeah, Matt Lee, there's my guy. But it's probably too early for him. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're calculating this and saying, can I get Matt Lee at 245?
You're right, I am.
Board.
Or a wide receiver, like as like competition too.
Yeah.
Even though I drafted Gold recently to 245 or 255, and I got him there.
Dallin Holker really impressed me against Colorado to the point where I basically said if he fell to the 4th round of the draft, he could be the George Kittle of this class, the day 3 guy on to become a really good starter. But the Packers are already loaded at tight end. You got Musgrave and Tucker Kraft with 3 years left on a rookie deal. So you don't really need a 3rd tight end, but the value with Holker is fantastic. And I am going to pick him if you pass on him and he gets to my next pick, just giving you a heads up.
Hey, I got him. I just realized what time it is. We might not like recap it like they usually want us to.
We don't have to recap it. We can it's
I know.
fun to recap, but at the same time,
I'm only saying that because I just realized what time it is. And I told that one person, like 55. It's fine. Sorry, man. Okay. Who do you want? Your last pick.
231. Who's available?
Miles Cole. Oh my god. What do you think of this punter? Torrey Taylor?
He's the best punter in the draft. His dad's a former rugby player, but the Patriots took a kicker and punter next year. Can you scroll down a little bit and see what else is available?
Rouse, Johnson, Dixon, Jefferson. Oh.
Yeah, there's a
Wallace.
Oh, I don't see anything I like. Is there any way to go to up to 200?
Wait, what?
Is there any way to scroll down further than where you were at?
I don't think there is. I don't know. There used to be, but I don't know how to do it. Bill. Probably not then. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm looking at what I've drafted. I went QB, tackle, receiver, corner, D-line, guard.
Wide receiver too.
What's available at edge and tight end?
Yeah. So Cole, McGregor, Thomas, Murphy, Harrell, Baptiste, Oki, Byard. Do you want me to go to tight end, maybe?
Yeah, just see what's there.
Spanford, Westover. No,
I do not like any of the tight end options. So that's
you don't like Castle? Interesting.
I don't
know. Okay.
All right, I'll take McGregor. I mean, these aren't great options, but I can get him as a 4th edge for depth, I guess.
It's the end of the barrel too, which doesn't help.
Yeah. I mean, I think I had Zion graded a little bit higher, but I feel like McGregor's a better fit for the Patriots.
Packers.
Kamal Haddon's good. I mean, he not give a touchdown. Nathaniel Watson's good, but you already drafted 2 linebackers. Isaiah Davis is on the board. Look, South Dakota State's Isaiah Davis is still there. Look.
And this is your guy, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the best run blocking running back in the draft. I probably should have picked him, but I didn't want to be a nuisance and scroll down too far. So you should probably take him here.
Okay. Is he going to be like an Aaron Jones?
He could be. It's really good value for him, though.
Last pick. Ooh, something tells me to take kicker just for fun of it. But, like, I don't want to right now. This would be my point to get a wide receiver, though, too.
Hardy is the top kicker in the draft. You could pick him here.
What do you think of the Alabama kicker, though?
Reichard's not bad either. I got a 5th on Reichard. I got a 4th on the top 2 kickers from Stanford and Missouri. Okay. Like he like the Alabama kicker's consistent, but he's not gonna hit.
Okay.
He's not gonna hit a field goal from 60 yards if that's.
This one would, right?
Yeah. Yes. Same with the Missouri.
Sorry, Packers. Yeah. Okay. I don't really want to recap it, so we won't.
Yeah, because it wasn't a realistic draft. We should
Yeah.
recap it for that reason, because Caleb Williams is not going to fall to 3.
Yes. Okay. I'll see if he's there. La 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 la. I'm just messing around. Hey, he's there. I told him, good job, Ed. I'm so proud of you. Hey. You're muted.
Oh, yeah, I realized it afterwards. What's up, Utopia?
What's going on?
Not much. So, I was actually just paying attention to what y'all were doing. I was liking it. I was really one of the last picks. I saw Keith Randolph Jr. there. I was like, I wonder if someone's going to grab him. And I was like, okay. So, but yeah, pleasure to meet you.
I know I'm doing your banner just because I need to support you as much as I can for you.
I appreciate that.
So you deserve it. You made our logo and our intro. Okay. Med, because you're here, or actually Jeff Utopia, what do you have coming up?
I have a live stream Saturday. It's going to preview the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, and then my full 7-round NFL mock draft from 1 to 257. That's coming up on Saturday. And then next Thursday, it's the draft stream. I've got the thumbnail for the first day already picked out. I'm waiting until after the first round of the draft to set up the thumbnail for day 2, because I want to see who's there on the board when we start day 2, because I figure like that's a better selling point. That's a better way to approach it if I'm doing a live stream.
Yeah, that's a good point. Are you said you're streaming day 3 as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll probably set that up after day 2, because there's gonna be lots of chaos in day 2 and day 3. There might even be a little bit of chaos in day 1 as well.
I was gonna say day 1 is known for getting trades too.
Yep.
Med, you're here. Do you want to announce what's happening on your shows?
Well, nothing. Well, right now, I mean, the main thing that we got going on is on Sunday, we're going to be doing that huge 8-man podcast where we're doing a mock draft for the first 3 rounds. It's going to be killer. I do have a question with Chris, and one of the questions I actually have for you is there a player right now, I guess you can give me one of each, that is kind of like in the mid round that you would think is getting overrated? Like me personally, I'm a big Ray Davis fan. But is there another player that you think that should be getting a little bit more love than what they are right at this moment? That's probably like a 3rd or 4th round pick, but should be a little bit higher.
I like, what position particularly are you looking at in terms of the value? Oh, you're just talking about any particular
like I think Spencer Rattler would be a good sleeper.
Rattler, I do like Rattler in round 3. That's really good value for him. I like Cade Stover in round 3 as well. He had a catch and quadruple coverage against Notre Dame. I don't think I've seen a tight end do that in college. I've seen maybe.
You're talking about the one where he caught behind him?
Yeah.
With one hand? Yeah, that was a great catch.
Yeah. So I do like Stover in round 3. That's one of my sleepers. Max Melton could be a really good 3rd round sleeper at nickel corner if you're in the market for that.
Okay.
I like Isaiah Davis, another running back I like. Cedric Gray's really good value in the 3rd round if you need an inside linebacker. We've talked about Gray earlier.
Med, because you're here, do you want to talk about tonight's show and where they can find that?
Well, tonight I'm going to be on Entertainment Pod with Isaac from Fun Football Podcast. We'll be talking to Chris, another Chris, of course, but he will be discussing with us, of course, the Podcast Boys Network, what we're planning as far as that goes, and a few other things as we launch other shows. And of course, you just came on to us, so congratulations, to us and to you.
I was gonna say
but yeah, no, it's I'm kind of interested. I've already been on his show one time. Isaac has been on there twice, so looking forward to it. And we'll see what happens, because last time we don't talk about just sports. We talked a little bit about movies and stuff like that too. So I don't know exactly what Chris has got cooked up for us, and then tomorrow we might be having something with the Love Child show, which is Blitz Hit the Fan.
I'm not gonna say.
That we'll be talking about draft stuff and stuff like that. It's that season. It's mock draft season. So
I already got told what that one is, but I'm not gonna say.
Mhm.
Isaac told me. Isaac told me secretly. Are you guys doing a show on Tuesday? I know Isaac mentioned that one too.
Possibly. I always do my show on Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
But we might be doing Blitz Hits the Fan. So I do mine at 7:00 on Tuesday. So, and then basically we talk mostly about football. We do cover basketball too, but we're a big football podcast.
Of course you guys are, because you're a Bears fan.
And a former football player. So
wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to be a semi-pro football player.
Oh my gosh, I did not. The amount of times that I've talked to you, I didn't know that. Okay, wow. I know Isaac's doing a show next Tuesday with Texans fans. I think I can say that. Sorry, Isaac, if you didn't want me to say it.
You'd be all right.
Wait, was that you in chat or was that Isaac on
That's
Fun
me.
Football? Okay, I didn't know if that was you or Isaac, because Isaac's been trolling in comments recently. He learned how to make alt accounts finally. So he's been trolling in his own comments. Okay. So for mac and cheese, I want to thank Med for making the intro and the logo finally.
You're welcome.
Oh man, everyone loves the intro from what I've played it to. Everyone loves it. I love how I told you this. I love how it shows the mac and cheese story.
Yes.
That
was the aim.
I love it. So tomorrow night we are doing a mac and cheese, but we're going before you guys. Tomorrow night is the deal. So we're going to send mac and cheese followers over to you guys tonight and tomorrow night. We are having a Bengal stand on. It's going to be Rule the Jungle Mac is what we're going to probably call it. I said Lions, Packers, and Bears on my for today. Or wait, Packers, Patriots, and Bears on my for today's episode. I don't know yet. Kind of like throwing a Wizard of Oz factor in there.
I like it.
Thank you. I might do it that. Okay.
Of course, I dig your hair, by the way. I really am kind of jealous of how wavy and curly it is. So, dude, nice hair.
Thank you very much. Man.
No problem, bro.
Okay.
I
Draft
think
shows.
Microphone too.
Oh, thanks.
Matt gets all the comments. I swear. Draft shows. There is good, like Chris and I have been talking about. We are covering the draft next week. It's going to be exhausting for me and Chris and Isaac actually, because I trapped Isaac into streaming day one with me.
It's exhausting for me because not only do I have to announce all the picks, I think every draft I've done since 2015, I actually, since I'm a web designer, I have to write the code and update the picks, update the write-up pick, and I have to provide commentary. So I'm multitasking. I'm doing more than most can handle it. But I think I can get through it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing it with a guest every night. I don't know if I would be able to do it by myself.
Yeah,
so I would say, I'm gonna do announce the picks like you said, and provide commentary, and possibly get a Tom Grossi raid. That's my goal for those nights, is to get a Tom Grossi raid. So, like I was mentioning, the 25th which would next Thursday is going to be Fun Football podcast. We are trying to get a fan of every fan base on that show. I know Med. Is that what you were talking about, Med? Are you still working that night, or are you going to try to pop in?
I'm gonna probably pop in. You're talking about tomorrow night or the following Friday or whatever?
Following Thursday.
With the draft. I'm gonna do my best. Because I'm going up to Raleigh, North Carolina for work. So when I'm sitting there in the hotel room, I'm gonna be like, look, guys, I gotta take care of some stuff, because I would rather sit here and talk football, like draft or anything, with anybody, to be honest. So I'd rather do that. Of course, getting paid helps, but I'd rather talk football.
Well, we would love to have you on. I know Isaac and I are making a group chat for that soon to try to get everyone on. It's gonna be kind of confusing. Because because you guys want to make me work more. Why not? The
That's
26th.
Isaac.
Oh, true. I mean, he told me I'm making the group chat. So the 26th, I'm going to be covering it on Friday. I'm not sure what time we're going live for either of these shows yet, just because it starts at 7 our time and then 12 noon on Saturday. I don't know yet. And
Yeah,
then
all that
that's-
Eastern time. So you're on the East Coast too.
Mhm.
Same.
I'm in. Yeah, that is so. That's funny. And then the 26th is Saturday, or 27th is Friday, or no, 27th is Saturday, and I'm gonna be having Justin Armando on my guest co-host.
You think this is exhausting? I cover all the drafts. I did one for the MLS. It got like 3.3, and I did one for the WNBA last week. It got 180 views. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to cover the 2 days of the NBA draft
Ooh.
and then the 2 days of the NHL draft. So I'm gonna
Oh,
have
wow.
4 days of draft coverage in June. After this, 3 days of draft coverage in April.
Oh no!
Because the NHL changed their draft schedule back to Friday, Saturday, because the NBA changed their draft schedule to a 2-day event instead of a 1-day event.
Oh my god. Med, I know you're taking a hiatus. Do you want to mention that? I know. It's
Oh, well, I'll be doing a hiatus in the summer. So basically, I'll be doing a whole bunch of pre-records. I won't probably be doing some other content that if anyone wants to join in on that, I'll collab with pretty much anyone who wants to. But yeah, I'll be taking 2 months off actually, and I'm looking forward to it. Because kind of like what Chris just said, I mean, props to you, bro, that you're going to be doing that much draft coverage. And I was going to ask you
in July too, but yeah, it's like you get to have a vacation. I'm pretty envious of that. But, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna do some self-reflection. You're gonna travel, so you're gonna get to have a good time, regardless of where you end up going.
Yeah.
True. I'll still be doing stuff on behind the scenes, like getting people's like her intro and other people's intros up and everything like that. How many rounds is in the Major League Baseball, by the way? Is it still like 19?
It's 20. It used to be 40. It's only 20 now.
Jesus.
If I ever expanded the MLB draft coverage past the first 2 rounds, I think the most I could do is maybe 5 or 10 rounds at the most. I'm not doing 20 rounds of MLB draft coverage. That's just too much.
Yeah, that would be like you sitting there and be like, well, this kid is a great player from middle school,
If I did that, I would still be typing draft grades by the time we get to the preseason. Believe me, that would not be fun. But at the same time, I'm not opposed to it either, because there's really nothing going on after first 2 rounds of the draft day, round 3, 4. There's really nothing going on after that. So I guess I could do additional work if it was necessary. But half the rookies don't even sign. Like the high school players that don't go in the first round, they go to college. So is there really any point in doing it past the first 2 rounds when you look at it from that perspective? Because the players don't sign their rookie deals, and that would just be a waste to just do a write-up on that player for the 3rd, 4th round, and then you find out they're going to college.
All right. And then, okay. So I already looked. Oh, when is Isaac? When are you going on hiatus? I forgot. You told me.
I'm going from June through July, basically the whole summer. But like I said, I'll be doing stuff behind the scenes and everything like that. I'll still pop up on shows and stuff like that, but I'll be taking a break from my show and Blitz Hits the Fan. So
right. Okay. I'll contact you about coming on back then during that time. Because Mac is taking a break in June, like I told you guys the other night.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Like, I love you guys right now. It's just way too much. And I know I just started with you guys.
No, you're good.
It's just, we have Tom Grossi on. Oh, I guess I can't say this. Well, you know what? You guys get to hear a secret announcement, I guess. Because I don't think we're supposed to announce this. But you guys are special to me. So I will. So we have Urinating Tree coming on. He's a Steelers fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ask him about Justin Fields for you, Med. How he's doing.
I appreciate that.
Just for you. And as I mentioned, we are having Tom Grossi Fan of the Year on in July. Do you guys have any questions for us? Or for me, I should say, being on Mac and Cheese?
This was fun. I really
Yeah,
don't have
I
any
think it's
questions. It'd be fun to do a show with Ned. I'm open to coming back on. And
Yeah, for sure.
welcome to come on our draft stream for a segment or
Yeah.
two. Packers
Oh,
make
definitely.
their picks if you want to on Friday or Saturday, like we discussed off the air earlier.
Just send me the link and I'll hop on for sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Red, do you have any questions for me? Even though you can just text them to me anytime you want.
I was going to say I could text it to you.
I know.
I mean, so where is Angry Cheesehead at?
Working.
Oh, he's at work.
Yeah. This was just like a surprise announcement, kind of.
Well, it is your first episode with us, so congratulations.
That is true. Technically, yeah, it is. Because I was
It's not technically, it actually is.
No, I was gonna say because technically not. Because technically, I was with you guys last week.
That is true.
It is my first stream. Yeah, I know about the banner. I didn't want to change it today.
Well,
plus I don't have a mac and cheese one. Can you do that for me too?
sure.
Yes. Everyone loves your logo, by the way. I did it on Facebook too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You need all the. Please follow Med on Twitter, guys. I'm not being biased.
And follow Chris, Draft Utopia. I actually did follow you. I was paying attention to what you've been doing and everything like that. Good stuff, bro.
Thanks, appreciated, man. I saw a very ridiculous Bears trade, and I want to ask you about it before we sign off, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it involved the Chiefs moving 32, 64, 131 in a 2025 first-round pick for number 9. Would you do that? I personally wouldn't do that. I would want something else in the package. Maybe I'm not sure what I could get from the Chiefs that would be of worth, but maybe if the Chiefs threw in a 20 if the Chiefs threw in another day 2 pick and maybe Trey Smith at right guard or something, I would probably do it at that point if I was getting all that back. But I just 9 to 32, you're moving down so much in the draft if you do that. And if you give Mahomes a Bowers or a Romo Dunze, the Chiefs are just going to freaking torch everybody on a weekly basis to the point where everybody's just going to mute their TVs. Mary's going to mute her TV. Med's going to mute his TV. Tom Grassi's going to put on a blindfold. We don't want to go through that trouble. So obviously, we can't have the Chiefs trade up to 9 for that reason alone.
It'd be total anarchy. Just because of what you just said, I'm guessing you would say that you'd think that the Bears will go receiver with number 9,
I've heard they've narrowed it down to 2 players, and the 2 players are Odunze and Jared Verse, the edge rusher from Florida State. I think both are fantastic value picks. I have Verse actually ahead of Dallas Turner on my board, but I also feel like the Bears are more inclined to go with Odunze if given the choice between the 2, because right now their current slot receiver, I think it's either Velus Jones Jr. or the guy from Cincinnati they got last year, Scott.
He's a speedster.
He's not bad. I like him as a number 4, but I feel like O'Dunes is a much better player and an upgrade over him in that respect. But you'd have him as your number 4, Scott, and then Velus Jones would be your number 5. He wouldn't see playing time. He'd be on the bench where he belongs, and everything would play itself out.
So, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't do that move. Me personally, I am leaning more towards an edge rusher because I think that really and truthfully, you want someone on the opposite side of Montez Sweat. I know that as far as receiver goes, it's a little bit deeper. It's not like really, really deep, but for the first 4 rounds, you can get good quality with your receivers. There are a couple hidden gems, which you know, of course, but like you said, I mean, that's a huge drop off. And between 9 and 32, I mean, if they were to actually do it, they still can get a decent edge rusher with Brian Robinson from Mizzou. He would actually be a pretty good guy on the outside. But yeah, no, that'd be really rough. And like you said, I mean, to me, it'll be one of those deals where we do need to have someone that can replace Cody Whitehair because we lost a really good veteran presence in the middle of the offensive line. And it'd just be too far of a drop off. Now, if you did get all those picks and you got good quality picks like a baby or something like that in the middle rounds of second round and stuff like that, then yeah, it might be worth it. But at the same time, I mean, Dunze.
I wouldn't do it because you look at the Julio Jones trade with the Browns. Atlanta moved up from 27-6, and they got a bona fide blue chip star. And if it turns out like that, and the Chiefs get another star player for Mahomes, they can just run it back year after year after year, like the Patriots when they had Gronkowski on a rookie deal and Aaron Hernandez on a rookie deal before he got convicted. And that's why it'd be a bad deal for the Bears to make. I wouldn't make that deal with the Chiefs, even though Ryan Poles did work for Brett Veach before coming to the Windy City. So,
well, and I was going to say, if they were to actually go ahead and pull the trigger and get a player, those are actually the two players I would like, because I do like Verse. And Dunze, he actually had a 75% success rate on catches that were in traffic. So, I mean, he can catch the ball. Like, he actually was, to me, the only player for the Huskies that came out and played in that title game. So I would be happy with either one of those, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, you look, there's some great things going on in Chicago right now with the GMs. It feels like the GMs are playing 3D chess. Kyle Davidson of the Blackhawks and Ryan Poles of the Bears. Davidson has his queen in Connor Bedard. Now Ryan Poles has to get his queen on the chessboard, and hopefully it's Caleb Williams, and hopefully things work out sometime. I mean, I like Justin Fields coming out of Ohio State, but I don't know if I would say, and he was good in the second year. I don't know if I'd say things worked out or if the Bears feel Caleb's a better player. But we'll see what happens on draft night in a week.
Right.
Do you want to say your opinions about Williams, Med? I know you have strong opinions from what I heard.
Well, they're not like super strong. I mean, to me, Caleb Williams is just one of those players that tends to play hero ball sometimes. I know that me personally, I'm a bigger Jaden Daniels fan, but that's just me. But Caleb Williams, it's one of those things where it's kind of like fear of losing out, because what if you do pass on Caleb Williams and he does go out there and he becomes the guy that a lot of people think he will be? We've been being asked to be patient for 30 years now. And, you know, after you sit there and you look at your biggest rival who has had one Hall of Famer, two Hall of Famers, and then Jordan Love comes out and spanks us. I mean, it's just, you know, you get tired of it. And hopefully, like Chris said, Caleb's the guy, because, you know, it's a 95% possibility that he will be the guy getting drafted. So I would say it's even 99.9% at this point.
I was going to say, I think it's pretty much confirmed.
Yeah, if you were being told that Caleb Williams is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, maybe gets you to 7 seed this year, and then next year he gets you to Super Bowl 60 where you lose to the Bengals, you'd probably take that all day, Med, knowing the situation, knowing that you wouldn't be happy about losing the Super Bowl, but you take that all day knowing that the Bears haven't been relevant in a while. Now you're finally relevant again.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I will not say what Justin said. Actually, you know what? Justin did say you guys would go 5-12 again to me earlier, Matt. He told me to tell you that.
They might. I mean, if Matt Eberflus doesn't make adjustments, they might. That's what's so dangerous about the Bears. I could see them as a team that goes off next year like the Texans did with Stroud if Caleb's the guy, but I could also see them going 5-12 if Caleb struggles, Caleb has growing pains, Matt Eberflus just isn't the guy. There's a number of different factors that come into play with the Bears, and I'll probably open up next season of Draft Utopia talking about the Bears because they do play the Texans in the Hall of Fame game, which is usually when we start the new season of Draft Utopia in August, where we preview everything, college football, NFL. So, yeah.
Nice. Is there anything else before I freaking do the little intro or outro, whatever? Is there anything else? No? You guys are staying quiet?
Go ahead and play the outro.
Okay. You guys are staying quiet.
I like-
I was about to say, how do you end it?